everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. If you're brand new, thank you for tuning in. My name's Mike. If you're returning, thank you for tuning in once again. So I've been sitting on this for a little while, and I didn't want to put my thoughts out straight away because I kind of just wanted to take all arguments from that side or from this side and kind of just collate my own thoughts, but also listen to other opinions before I ultimately put together this video. And it is all around the Chris Stuckmann video. I need to talk about this where he has the Madam Web picture as his thumbnail with him going like this, right? So that's the video that I'm specifically talking about, but also Chris Stuckmann as a whole. But before I get into kind of that video, I do have to address that Chris Stuckmann is definitely one of the biggest reasons I'm doing YouTube and have been for over 5 years. Now, don't get me wrong, in my spare time I am a creative person. I have self-publicated a book on Amazon myself, so I love kind of venturing into like new things in my own personal life, and movie criticism and movie reviews was definitely something I also wanted to go into, but I was definitely helped along by Chris Stuckmann. So I'm never going to take away that from him. I'm always going to be thankful for him for kind of, inspiring me in a way to start a YouTube channel. However, with all that aside, I have enjoyed his videos since 2017, I would say about late 2017, 2018 when I started YouTube, watching him from then up until he decided he wanted to make his channel a film celebration channel. Now, I haven't got a problem with anyone talking about movies, celebrations, negative, whatever. That's your own channel. Do what you want with your own channel. I'm not here to tell you what to do on your channel. I'm just here to voice my own personal opinion. So ever since he's made this change, he's decided, right, I'm not going to talk about bad movies because of, say, actors or directors that are currently working, and he doesn't want to insult them or, maybe rub someone the wrong way, and he also wants to celebrate film, right? That is all cool, but there is a big problem. That big problem for me is the fact that, and it is go back to his Madam Web video he kind of just put out, by the way, so I'm going to link the two. But the problem for me is he has many videos on his channel he's done in the past where he has slammed movies that involve current actors and directors that are still working today, right? So he's dissed their past previous work. And at the end of the day, he had an opinion, he didn't like the movie, that's fine. And he said that he's moved away from that, which again, I appreciate, but he still has those videos active. If he, for example, said, right, I'm going to be a film celebration channel and I want to celebrate all things film, surely you would remove those videos, not in a cowardly attempt or anything like that, but just in an honest attempt, could put out a video saying, right guys, I've maybe bashed X, Y, and Z films in the past. As of now, I'm going to become a film celebration channel. Those videos are now currently deleted because I don't want my past remarks to convey to people that may come across those reviews in current day where I've slammed their previous works and active directors. But he's not done that. And yes, don't get me wrong, he probably gets paid off YouTube, the ads, sponsors and all that kind of stuff. So that probably does help him to get some clicks and views and ads and all that kind of thing. So I get why, but that takes away the point because he's still got reviews and videos in there that is slamming current actors and directors, right? Now, if we tie that point into the whole Madam Web video, talk about this, where he basically doesn't even really talk about Madam Web, but it's more of a video where he is talking about movie studios, the fact they're doing like unfinished scripts or they're getting like directors and writers on board, but basically telling them, right, you may have a vision of what you want to do, but tough, we want you to do X, Y, and Z in that said property. So I appreciate he's talking about the filmmaking aspect side of things, but the thumbnail is not Madam Web, and say Morbius and the Venom movies and the Spider-Man movies, which basically he keeps deterring in his videos about every one of those single movies, despite it being literally a Madam Web poster on the thumbnail. He continues to talk about those movies and basically trash Sony at that point. And don't get me wrong, do I like the Sony superhero movies like the Venom, Morbius and Madam Web? No, not really. I did a review of Madam Web on my channel where I didn't think it was terrible as everyone says it was, but ultimately it wasn't a fantastic movie. What I'm trying to get at is he spent all the video basically in the most tiptoed around way possible to say that he did not like Madam Web. And for me, I think as a movie reviewer, movie critic, whatever you want to call myself or other people on this platform who talk about movies, I appreciate he's saying this is not a movie review. He's stepping away from that. He wants to celebrate movies. But there's nothing wrong with saying that a movie wasn't great. You can be respectful about it. For example, Dakota Johnson in Madam Web, I thought that she did okay. Is it one of her best performances? No, but she's done way better. But she wasn't terrible. That's not me insulting Dakota Johnson, because I'm sure if you watch interviews of her, she will tell you, and like kind of how she's been talking about Madam Web, that she wasn't huge on it. It went through multiple extensive rewrites, which therefore she just had to follow what was on the script and not the original vision that she signed on for. So you know yourself, she probably did the best with the material that she was given, but ultimately it was kind of the script and the direction and studio interference that let Madam Web down. But that's not insulting Dakota Johnson or the cast members. That is just purely saying it wasn't one of her best performances. I don't think anyone's going to go on Madam Web and say that was her best performance of her entire career. I'd be very surprised if someone thought that, firstly. But if you do, that's fair enough. That's your own opinion. The problem I've got with Chris Stuckmann, and the reason why I don't watch his videos until I heard about the need to talk about this video with the Madam Web thumbnail, where a lot of people are talking about that, including one of my peers, Elliot, IMO Reviews, who also did a great video about Stuckmann, by the way. I will leave a link to his channel down below, is the fact that he is afraid, or some people can say he's a coward, to say if a movie is bad or it isn't great. You can do that in a respectful way that isn't trashing the director, that isn't trashing the script or the actors, actresses involved. But he's afraid to do that. He's like, yeah, I'll just talk about movies that I like, and that's it. Which again, I get it's the film celebration aspect side of what he wants his channel to be, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, we all see movies every day that are either good or bad. And say like a little YouTuber like me, right? Me compared to like say Stuckmann's subscriber base is absolutely slim pickings, right? I don't stand anywhere next to him. I'm like on like 3,000 plus, which I'm honestly eternally grateful for that anyone chooses to subscribe to me. Whereas he's like 2.04 million. The movie studios, if these big players in YouTube, like say Chris Stuckmann, Grace Randall, Jeremy Johns, those kind of people, say put out a not so great review about a movie, those studios are more than likely probably going to see those reviews compared to like say mine and like channels of my size or smaller or maybe even a little bit bigger. They're more likely going to see the bigger YouTubers who have more of a voice, so to say, and from there they may implement more thoughts and changes. Because Stuckmann then goes on to say about, right, well, it's the audience who goes and sees these movies to buy the ticket, buy them physical to support it, so the movie makes money. That part I agree with. It makes sense. It is the reason why movies can succeed or flop at the box office. But at the same time, it all comes back to also what some people like to call bad press. But again, you don't have to put that in a bad light. You can just be a fair review and say, yes, I liked X, Y, and Z. I didn't like X, Y, and Z. Overall, this movie maybe had potential, but unfortunately it didn't live up to that potential. That, again, is not being disrespectful. That is just putting it in a way where at least you are trying to support the movie. You went out and supported the movie or on streaming. Just saying your thoughts, which you're entitled to. He's gone on multiple times ranting about these movie studios and how they force people to do scripts and all that kind of stuff. But yet he continues to go on to say that, yet he's an indie filmmaker and he succeeded without studio interference, which again, I applaud him for doing a Kickstarter, but he continues in that sense to kind of rag on the big studios. So in essence, kind of trying to cut ties in a degree with studios in the future, because when he's talking bad about Sony, I can't imagine Sony's going to go to him and say, oh Chris, would you like a contract for this movie? They're going to be like, well, hold on, you slammed our movie studio purposely in this kind of video. why are we going to have you as bad press, as part of us? Maybe he doesn't want that. That's fine. But it's just the whole point of the whole thing is that he's basically kind of cutting ties right there and then, but he's afraid to talk about any actor, actress, or director in any form of bad light, despite doing that in the past with those videos still present on his channel. That to me does not make sense. But he's just afraid to make an actual review where he didn't like the movie. If he didn't like Madam Web, fine. Just say you did not like Madam Web instead of tiptoeing around the whole matter and making the video more on the subject of the studios and what they're doing. But the Madam Web poster plastered on your thumbnail. So to me, just doesn't make sense. I haven't watched the guy in a long time, despite that video. And to be honest with you, if he continues as he is, personally, I'm not going to watch him ever again. But what do you guys think of this situation? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Whatever your thoughts are, please be civil and respectful in the comments. At the end of the day, this is my own personal opinion. You may be sat thinking, wow, this guy, yeah, I definitely don't agree with him. Or you might be sat there thinking, yeah, this guy maybe does make some good points. I would love to know your thoughts down below. But thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you watching. Definitely give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe also if you like the content. Got many more movie reviews, videos, Back to the Future content coming on the channel very shortly. Click over here to see more content that you may have missed of mine or maybe you didn't even know about. And until next time, I see you guys. I'll be seeing you later.